Tonight, a wireless school car park closed over asbestos fears, and Eyre Peninsula trees painted blue to raise awareness about suicide.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. We begin with a developing story. The car park of the Wireless Stewart Primary School has been sealed off due to an asbestos scare. The Education Department says unknown material was discovered in gravel, with tests revealing the sample contained the dangerous material. Strict safety measures are now in place, with parents informed this afternoon via a letter sent home. It's expected the removal will take between 7 to 10 days. New figures show TAFE enrolment numbers are up across South Australia. Locals hope the growth in students will help fill critical skill shortages in regional areas.
It's certainly not tools down at the Port Augusta TAFE campus, with numbers skyrocketing in the last year.
From this year compared to last year, we've had an increase of nearly 500 students across the campus.
The numbers are a reflection of a growing influx of more than 2,000 extra enrolments across the state, with new figures showing horticulture, engineering and electrical courses are the most popular among students.
Well, they can be finishing their SACE course while at the same time earning money as a first-year apprentice, and that's a great outcome for both the student but also for regional businesses that need that workforce.
There's also been tremendous growth in the cybersecurity industry, with course numbers spiking more than 1,300% on last year. Local TAFE management say they've also been working with industry to structure programs to meet skills shortages.
There's a huge push on increasing traineeships and apprenticeships across the state.
That we need to make sure that where businesses see a demand for skills in their line of work, that we are fulfilling that demand.
Many hoping even more young students will see TAFE as a viable career pathway.
We hope that we give them the qualification and the experience that they need to go into the workforce and to be successful.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A new initiative on the Eyre Peninsula hopes to start the conversation on suicide prevention by painting trees blue. Organisers say it'll provide a beacon of hope for those struggling.
A colourful beacon to take over the country landscape. Blue trees sprouting out of fields with a message for those in our community.
Asking for help is a big thing, and having someone, whether it's a professional or a member of the community that you can talk to, can be the difference.
Alison Southern is on a mission to paint as many as possible, providing hope for those struggling. The mother of two knows firsthand how difficult it can be.
Sadly, we've lost friends and family members to suicide, and doesn't matter how long ago it is, it still hurts.
Located on the outskirts of Port Lincoln, it was burnt in the Wangri bushfires. The owner tried to remove it, but it wouldn't budge. Organisers say it now serves an important purpose.
We estimate around average 100 people are impacted by every suicide.
Experts say the unique challenges of isolation and drought in regional communities are some of the major risk factors of suicide. Organisers hope it'll start the life-saving conversation.
Have a look and talk about that to other people in the car driving past, to family and friends, promoting conversation and promoting help seeking.
If you or someone you know is struggling, contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. Nathan Rector, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Augusta's Joy Beluch Bridge duplication could help improve some of the town's ailing marine structures. Council hoping the specialised skills could be used for infrastructure repairs.
After more than a century toiling in the salty waters, Port Augusta's marine structures are hanging on by a thread. But there could be a saving grace. The council will meet with the Transport Department this week to discuss how the Joy Beluch Bridge upgrade could link with the repair of these local pieces of history.
It's a very good opportunity where we can present what issues we see that we have with our water infrastructure.
The council is hoping to secure specialised equipment and manpower for further marine works once the contractors are already on site for the $200 million duplication project.
We've got failed infrastructure here, so we need to work out how that builds in, or if that can possibly build into this project.
But it's not holding its breath over whether DIPTI will bankroll further works.
I would love to say that we would encourage DIPTI to help fund some of these, but yeah, we need to work that relationship.
But it's too little too late for the West Side jetty, with the original structure beyond repair. The council now needs to determine if it will replace it with a similar or alternate piece of infrastructure.
We need to move forward on how we can have some type of structure there to provide the community and tourists something to use.
The Transport Department were not available for comment. Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The first stages of renovations have commenced at Whyala's Bennett Oval. Council says it'll bring the ground into the 21st century and create a new sporting hub.
After years of planning, a much-needed facelift to this popular sporting facility is finally underway.
We commenced demolition last Tuesday of the complex, and we'll start some civil and base prep works throughout.
Great to see all the workers here today, and it's really good to see some local contractors as part of the works that are taking place. It's always very important to engage as many locals in employment.
Artist impressions of the finished site have been released, revealing a sneak peek of the transformation. It includes a new canopy structure and refurbished grandstand.
There'll be a new amenities block constructed on the car park side, and then also some new amenities on the oval side.
The new structure is designed to host AFL and AFLW matches, with funding provided by the state government.
Up to $900,000 donated through their $10 million fund for grassroots sports, so that's really helping kick this project along.
Council are anticipating construction to finish by February, ready for the 2020 Whyalla football season.
The facelift and the new amenities that we add onto this are going to make it a fantastic facility for the future.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, volunteers needed for the Port Lincoln Surf Club and an art workshop with a difference happening in Broken Hill. Edward John Eyre High School food students will host their final assessment dinner tonight. Family, friends and even principals will be attending, with a spring menu on offer.
Last-minute preparations ready for 35 guests to join this evening.
Spring season, so we had to get dishes that were involved with spring.
So our entree, our main, our dessert is involved with berries. So I thought that was a really nice combination that happened, and we looked at different foods that go with those berries.
These senior school students have taken this hospitality course to contribute to their SACE.
70% is more practical based, so we do a lot of, we've got this beautiful kitchen, so of course we want to utilise it. So yeah, it is very much practical, hands-on.
Some students have travelled from Port Augusta to participate in the course.
I had a really keen interest in cooking and just particularly in patisserie, and this was really to decide whether I wanted to follow TAFE or whether I wanted to go to university.
Guests from across the region have been invited to be given a taste of the students' hard work.
Got my mum and my dad, as well as my school's principal and my school's vet coordinator.
This newly renovated kitchen will be transported to the new high school in future years.
Although they've spent a reasonable amount of money here building it at Edward John Eyre High, we can actually take all of this equipment over to the brand new school. And the good thing about it all being stainless steel, it's all going to be brand new over there as well.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A former Broken Hill footy player will play in the AFLW next season. Tiny Tester was selected by the West Coast Eagles in yesterday's draft after impressing in the inaugural Western Australian Women's Football League. Playing for Subiaco, she was the lead goal kicker for the year with 26. She moved to WA in 2016 to pursue a career in the sport. Port Lincoln Surf Lifesaving Club is a step closer to reality, with more than a dozen new recruits signed up. The club is now set to host an information session this weekend.
Bringing back Port Lincoln's lifeguards after almost 50 years, the new Lifesaving Club set to hit the water and start patrols as soon as next year.
We would like to start patrolling down along the foreshore, and then from future reference our main goal is to patrol the fisheries and Wales Bay.
Organisers say the southern coast is a hot spot for rips and freak waves. Earlier this year, a family was washed out to sea and drowned due to the dangerous conditions at Cape Carno. The club hopes to start patrolling in those areas as soon as possible.
hopefully to get it up and running by the start of next summer season. So not this season now, the season coming up.
Since the club's launch earlier this year, more than a dozen eager members have jumped on board, but the group still desperately needs more volunteers.
More lifesavers to join up, and also to have more coaches so we can begin our training sessions.
They'll hold an information session this week in an effort to attract more members.
A lot of the community out and about and off the chairs, and hopefully come out and enjoy a good sport, and obviously a very valuable sport for Australia.
For more information, visit its Facebook page. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A Melbourne-based artist working in Broken Hill is inviting locals to join him for a photography workshop this week. He says all you need is a smartphone and a torch.
Exploring nature when the sun is set.
The wonderful thing about darkness is everyone can get their little special moment.
Robbie Rowlands is currently working on 2 sculptures soon to be installed in the Redford Arboretum. He's been back and forth between Melbourne and the Silver City completing the project.
It's very much well and truly off the ground. We're about 3/4 of the way through. They're looking fantastic. I'm really excited about what's going on.
Tonight and tomorrow night, he is inviting locals to join him in the Arboretum for some nighttime photography. It's open to all ages and no high-tech equipment is required, just the basics.
At 8 o'clock, and it's photography by torchlight. So it's really simple. You got to bring a torch and your smartphone.
Robbie says the idea for the workshops is to show people how he researched for the sculpture project and discovered the hidden wonders of the Arboretum. After a brief introduction, the group will split up to explore the area and try and capture the environment in their lens.
You don't often go out at night and explore the environment in the nocturnal hours. I think in a lot of times it's a safety concern. There will be quite a lot of people here, so you really feel quite comforted.
The workshops are free to attend. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
After the break, we'll take a look at the latest fuel prices. And Alex will have the latest weather forecast. Hello again. The organiser of the Broken Hill Social Dodgeball is hoping to start a competition on Monday nights. He's challenging locals to put a team together and come down to have a throw.
The sport of dodgeball has gained worldwide popularity thanks partly to the 2004 film. The game has been set up socially in Broken Hill for the past 3 months, every Monday night at the YMCA. But now the organiser is looking to introduce a 3v3 round-robin competition. Teams will play as many matches as they can across a 20-minute game. The side with the most wins is victorious.
6 versus 6 in a country town is a bit difficult, especially when people have their work commitments, life commitments, and sometimes are on shift work.
While it is a pretty straightforward game, Daniel says there's plenty of hidden benefits, stress relief being one and a full cardio workout another. It's also a very social sport.
Myself, I was very introverted when I first started, so it was very difficult to talk to people, so it was nice to network with different faces, and mixing up the teams, you get to know different personalities as well.
I have played dodgeball when I was in high school. I haven't recently, so maybe I'll get into it as well.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Time for our weekly look at how things are shaping up when we head to the Bowser. Here's Nathan Regter with Fuelwatch.
Welcome back to another week of Fuelwatch, and it's been a bit up and down for local petrol prices, so it would pay to shop around. Starting with unleaded, and Port Lincoln has seen a 1 cent jump last week and is now averaging $1.49. Whyalla has also jumped up to $1.49, while Port Augusta has seen a small dip in its price, now sitting at $1.53. Still the most expensive in regional South Australia. Port Pirie and Kadina now sitting at $1.46 a litre, while Broken Hill has stayed relatively the same at $1.52. Adelaide is feeling some relief to the hip pocket, with petrol down to $1.42. Turning over to diesel now, and it's relatively the same from last week. Port Lincoln has seen a small jump, while Whyalla, Port Augusta, Port Pirie and Kadina are seeing no movement at all. There's a bit of a hike in the Silver City, with motorists paying $1.55 a litre. Adelaide is the only region to drop its prices down to $1.44. Finishing off with a quick look at Autogas, and there's not much to report at all. Port Lincoln and Whyalla have broken even. Port Pirie has been hit by a 3-cent rise to 87. Kadina also feeling the pinch with a 2-cent rise. Broken Hill staying the same, while Adelaide now sits at 79 cents a litre. Now remember, these prices are the regional averages and do not reflect any one particular outlet. And if you do find a spot that does sell unleaded diesel or auto gas for cheaper, make sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
Weather now, and tomorrow will be a scorcher. Here's Alex with the details.
Good evening. The region has had a taste of summer today with warm and sunny conditions. Port Augusta reached 37 degrees, Whyalla and Port Pirie 35, Broken Hill 34, Port Lincoln 28 and Adelaide sunny and 33 degrees. On the satellite, clear skies across most of the region thanks to a high pressure which is producing dry air. Rough on the waters tomorrow, northerly winds reaching 30 knots, seas at a metre. Sunrise is at just before 6:30 with sunset at 7:39. Hot and windy tomorrow with total fire bans in all areas apart from the York and Lower Eyre Peninsula. Port Augusta 41 degrees, Whyalla, Cleve and Port Pirie all reaching 39. Port Lincoln and Coffin Bay showers and 32. Broken Hill 36 and Adelaide partly cloudy, also 36 degrees. Let's take a look at the next 4 days. Showers and 16 in Port Lincoln on Friday, 15 Saturday, 16 and partly cloudy Sunday. Cleve windy and 19 Friday, fine and partly cloudy over the weekend, and Woodna will nudge 40 tomorrow before the cool change brings temperatures down into the mid-20s. Whyalla will be partly cloudy through till the weekend, 23 Friday, 20 Saturday, 19 Sunday. Similar conditions in Port Augusta with temps in the mid-20s over the weekend, and Kadina will be windy and 21, Friday 19, Saturday 20 and Sunday as well. Partly cloudy in Port Pirie with temperatures in the low 20s. Clare will be windy and 18 Friday, 17 Saturday and Sunday. And finally in Broken Hill, cloudy and 30. Friday cooling down to 22 over the weekend. So John, we're in for another hot day tomorrow. Remember to slip, slop, slap and keep hydrated if you're outdoors.
Good advice there. Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening here on 7. On behalf of the team, it's good night.